Hey, what's going on, guys? Give me a second. I'm trying to back up. Where is this trash can? Oh, so yeah, I just came from taking my wife to lunch, and I wanted to talk to you guys about something. Hold on. Yeah, let's see. Backing up, good. Oh, this is good. All right, so I wanted to talk to you guys about the MacBook Pro that just came out from Apple. And in this video, I wanted to tell you why you shouldn't buy this MacBook Pro. Now, the headline feature of this new MacBook Pro, let me turn the engine off, was the touch bar. The touch bar has a dynamic touchscreen that allows you to access functions within the application that you're using a lot faster. Particularly, it does it well when you're on the go, I guess, so you can get things done a lot faster. For me, I'm not a laptop kind of guy. I'm more like a desktop with a larger screen. So right now I'm rocking the Mac Mini, but I am in the market for a new computer. It may be a laptop, probably going to be a MacBook Pro, or maybe a new Mac Mini, depending on what Apple brings to the table. What I think, though, with this touch bar, I think Apple is headed into potentially a Mac OS with a touchscreen. And what I've learned over the years, looking at Apple release products and services, is they tend to like to take baby steps. If you think, well, let's talk about the iPhone right now. The iPhone has a home button that does. It's not a physical home button, but it is a button that gives you the illusion that you're pressing a button. What this is, I think, is Apple's way of taking baby steps, and at some point, maybe in the next couple years, we'll see an iPhone with no home button. You may see something that's embedded into the screen, but it's no more physical button for the iPhone. And this is, like I said, this is their way to take baby steps. If you think back to Windows 8, for instance, they didn't take a baby step, and it really upset their user base. So you see what they did with Windows 10. They kind of went back to how Windows 7 looked in terms of the interface. The one thing I will say I do like about the touch bar is I do like the fact that it does have Touch ID, particularly if you're someone who's going to be sharing your MacBook Pro with other users. You can pretty much load your fingerprint in and then upload your user profile with simply just scanning your fingerprint, which is kind of cool. With the colors of the exterior of the device itself, of the MacBook Pro, they kept it kind of simple, so it's just a space gray. Also, they have the traditional silver model, which is kind of nice. I'm really happy that it didn't do a jet black. There were some rumors that they would do a jet black MacBook Pro, but I'm really happy they didn't, just simply because it would probably scratch up really easy, and it would be a fingerprint magnet. Other usual suspects of the MacBook Pro are it's thinner, it's lighter, and it has a faster processor. So let me get to the reason why, and this is really a really simple reason why you should not get a MacBook Pro and how it's a gimmick. Now, the keyboard itself, maybe not a deal breaker, but the keyboards compared to the old MacBook Pro doesn't have the same amount of travel, but it's not a deal breaker. It's not a deal breaker by any means, but it is something that you may want to take in consideration if you're considering buying the new MacBook Pro. They also, what's really nice is they made the touchpad a little bit bigger. There have been some complaints about the palm rejection with the touchpad being a little bit out of place, and sometimes you have issues with your palms resting on the touchpad itself. But here's the reason why you shouldn't buy there's a couple reasons, but the first reason is the ports. All the ports that you're used to, they're gone now. There's no more ports that you are used to using that really works with your workflow. So there's no more Thunderbolt 2, there's no more USB 3, there's no more MagSafe, there's none of that. But none of those are a deal breaker more than there's no more SD card slot. I don't think we're there yet with SD card slots. For me as a YouTuber, I normally like to upload my videos with my SD card right from my G4 right into my Mac Mini. So with them not having an SD card slot, that's definitely a deal breaker for me. And I'm not going to be buying adapters for days trying to configure this and plug this in. It's just not going to happen. The one thing I will say is the USB-C is going to be a lot faster than the old port. So that's a benefit, but come on, guys. You guys could have kept the SD card slot. Other things worth mentioning, but it's not a function. I will say I am going to miss the LED Apple logo on the back. But in exchange, they did give you front-facing speakers on the 13-inch model, similar to what we had on the older MacBook Pros with the 15-inch model with the speakers that, the stereo speakers on both sides. Now, the other reason I don't think you should buy a MacBook Pro is simply because it's not going to make things much more efficient. I think what makes things more efficient with a laptop or even a desktop is the fact that you use or you learn the shortcut keys, like copy and paste, or like for me with Final Cut Pro, where I can, activate my blade or anything I'm trying to do. I think the shortcut keys are the way to go. So if you want to work more efficient, don't go out and spend an additional $400 on a MacBook Pro. I think the standard version is, I think the Touch Bar version is like $400 more in comparison to the standard version of the new MacBook Pro without the Touch Bar. So I would say don't do this, guys. Don't go out and buy this just simply because the Touch Bar. I think you're going to be, I don't think you're going to be happy. I think if you can just learn the different shortcuts, I think that will work. And I get it, they have emojis and all that other good stuff, but I just don't think it's worth it. But I do think we're headed in a direction of a MacBook with the touchscreen, which I think is something I may be interested in. But yeah, that's going to do it. If you picked up a MacBook Pro with the Touch Bar, let me know how you feel. Is it a waste of money? I want to get some feedback from you guys in terms of, is this a good investment or not? But I don't think it's a good investment. But I appreciate you guys watching. If you are new to the channel, don't hesitate to subscribe if you like what you're seeing. And if you like the video, don't hesitate to give me a thumbs up. You guys take it easy and have a good day. Bye-bye.